Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast, and welcome to your Friday night Smackdown post show, man. There is a lot to talk about in today's episode. We hear from WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. We got Shinsuke Nakamura in action as well. We also have a Women's U.S. Title Open Challenge as well to talk about. We also hear from Men's U.S. Champion Trick Williams as well. We also have Trick Williams in action also on SmackDown. We got Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley teaming up in a tag team matchup. We got Damian Priest in action against Solo Sikoa. We'll talk about that in today's episode as well. And to round out Friday Night SmackDown in the main event, we got Sami Zayn taking on WWE Universal Champion Cody Rhodes. And we'll talk about all that in today's episode. But starting off the night, man, we got Rhea Ripley. Rhea comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone. She talks about Jade Cargill, but she also says that she's itching for a fight. Rhea says that she will give Jade her rematch at Clash in Italy. After that, Rhea is interrupted by Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Flair says that we still have a tag team match tomorrow at Saturday night's main event, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Flair asks where was Rhea last week when they were getting jumped by Jade and her goons. Flair says that Rhea is trying to draw a wedge with her and Bliss. After that, they're interrupted by Fatal Influence. JC Jane says there's nothing better than to see the SmackDown women's locker room unravel. Jane says that the Fatal Influence has rose to the top of the division, but Flair says how about any two of the members of Fatal Influence face herself and Bliss later on in the night. Some interesting stuff there between Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, and Fatal Influence. Moving on from that, we go into our first official match of the night is Tala Tonga from the MFTs taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. I thought it was a decent match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Tala and Shinsuke, with Tala keeping the pace of the match. Nakamura hits a jumping knee off the middle rope, taking out Tala Tonga, followed by Nakamura landing multiple kicks on Tala. Nakamura then applies an armbar into a triangle choke, but the hold is broken. Nakamura then hits a running knee. Solo then goes to attack Nakamura. This allowed Tala to hit a power slam, followed by a devastating choke slam on Nakamura. Pins for the 3. And your winner of the match is Tala Tonga. After the match, Solo goes to attack Nakamura. Tama then stops Solo. Solo asks Tama, what the hell are you doing? Then out of nowhere, Tama hits a running elbow on Nakamura. Damian Priest comes out to the ring to save Shinsuke Nakamura. Some interesting stuff there between Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa. Moving on from that, we have a Women's U.S. Open Challenge. Tiffany Stratton comes out to the ring, but she's interrupted by Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Nia says they're going to end Paige and Brie Bella's title reign. Lash says that she accepts the Open Challenge, and we get into an impromptu matchup between Tiffany Stratton and Lash Legend. Now, I thought it was an okay match at best. Back and forth matchup between Stratton and Legend, with Legend keeping the pace of the match. Legend hits a chokeslam, sending Stratton into the apron. Chelsea Green is here. Tiffany then hits a handspring elbow, taking out Lash Legend, followed by another handspring stunner for a near fall. Legend then gets up, tries to get some offense in by hitting a powerbomb for a near fall. Nia Jax attacks Stratton. Lash then lands a big boot. Chelsea Green then attacks Nia Jax ringside. This allowed Tiffany Stratton to hit a roll-up on Lash Legend. Pins for the 3. And your winner of the match, and still Women's U.S. Champion, is Tiffany Stratton. Hats off to Tiffany Stratton for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we hear from the Men's U.S. Champion, Trick Williams. Trick Williams comes out to the ring with Little Yachty. Yachty mocks The Miz. Carmelo Hayes is here, though. Gets a good pop from the crowd. Hayes says that one day this was going to happen, or that he knew one day this was going to happen. Hayes says that Trick cost him the U.S. title. Hayes says that he's not here to discredit Trick, and that he always believed in Trick Williams. Hayes says that there is a difference between being a champion and carrying the title. Hayes says that he earned the respect from the people by defending the U.S. title. Hayes says that he wants a match against Trick for the U.S. title, but Hayes then mocks Little Yachty. Hayes then talks about the history that he's had with Trick Williams. He also says that the old Trick wouldn't let someone else speak for him, pretty much mocking Little Yachty. Trick says that tonight it's Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes tonight. But Trick says that the Open Challenge is over since he's won the title. And then Trick Williams calls for a referee, which gets us into an impromptu matchup between the U.S. champion Trick Williams taking on Carmelo Hayes. I thought this was a really good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Hayes and Williams, with Hayes keeping the pace of the match. Trick then hits a trick slap, but Hayes gets up, hits an enziguri. Trick then hits a spin kick for a near fall. Trick and Carmelo Hayes both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Trick hitting a jumping neck breaker on Carmelo Hayes. After this, Ricky Saints is here. He was ringside. Hayes then hits a springboard lariat, followed by Hayes hitting a first 48 on Trick Williams in the middle of the ring for a near fall. Ricky Saints then was causing a distraction. This allowed Trick ultimately pushes Ricky Saints ringside, but then Trick hits his signature trick shot on Carmelo Hayes in the middle of the ring, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Trick Williams. Hats off to Trick Williams for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have a women's tag team matchup. It is Charlotte Flair teaming up with Rhea Ripley instead of Alexa Bliss to take on Fallen Henley and Lainey Reed from Fatal Influence. The match itself, it was a decent match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between both teams, with Flair and Rhea keeping the pace of the match. Rhea hits a razor's edge in the middle of the ring, followed by Flair hitting a senton off the apron. Rhea hits a riptide, but Flair tags in after the riptide and hits a natural selection in the middle of the ring. After that, they go for the cover, pins for the 3, and your winners of the match are Flair and Rhea Ripley. After the match, though, Jade, B-Fab, and Meechin attack Flair, Bliss, and Rhea, and then Jade hits a Jaded on Rhea Ripley. Some interesting stuff there between Jade and Rhea. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. We have Damian Priest, one half of the Tag Team Champions, taking on Solo Sikoa. I thought it was a decent match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Priest and Solo, with Priest keeping the pace of the match. Tama attacks Priest. Solo hits a Samoan drop. Priest then gets up, hits a superplex, followed by Priest attacking Tama, as well as Tala. Solo, though, hits a Samoan spike on Damian Priest in the middle of the ring, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Solo Sikoa. After the match, you can see Tama and Tala attacking Solo. Royce Keys is here. Royce attacks Tama and Tala, has a stare down with Solo Sikoa, and then Priest goes for a chokeslam on Royce, but stops the chokeslam on Royce Keys. Some interesting stuff there between Damian Priest and Royce Keys. And moving on to the main event of Friday Night SmackDown, we got Sami Zayn taking on WWE Universal Champion Cody Rhodes. I thought it was a good match. It was a back-and-forth matchup between Zayn and Rhodes, with Rhodes keeping the pace of the match. Rhodes hits a power slam on Zayn in the middle of the ring, followed by Rhodes hitting a Cody cutter for a near fall. Zayn then pushes Rhodes off the apron. Rhodes is sent over the announce table on the outside. Rhodes then hits another Cody cutter for a near fall, but Zayn hits a Blue Thunder Bomb for a near fall. Zayn then applies a figure 4 leg lock on Rhodes in the middle of the ring, but the hold is quickly broken. Rhodes and Zayn then both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Rhodes hitting a disaster kick, taking out Sami Zayn. After that, Rhodes is standing in the middle of the ring, but out of nowhere, Gunther is here, and Gunther attacks Rhodes. But Rhodes then hits a crossroads, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match is Cody Rhodes. After the match, though, Gunther attacks Rhodes. Gunther hits a powerbomb on Rhodes in the middle of the ring. Sami Zayn is watching on the entire time, and then Zayn watches as Gunther applies a sleeper hold on Rhodes, and eventually Zayn walks away as Cody Rhodes is pretty much attacked by Gunther. Couple of things I want to talk about with you guys, man, when it pertains to Friday Night SmackDown before I get the hell up out of here. Number one, was it a good show? No. I'm going to be honest, man. SmackDown it's hard to watch. I'm going to be honest. I know some of you guys are probably like, man, I haven't seen the SmackDown reviews in quite some time. It's been a couple weeks. Yeah. And there's a reason behind that. Number one, bro, this show is absolutely fucking boring. I'm sorry. I don't even know any politeful way that I could say that this show is actually entertaining enough to watch for 3 goddamn hours. This show's fucking horrible. I'm sorry. There's no sense of direction at all. Storylines are lacking. Even the stories that they're trying to create on this Friday Night SmackDown, bro, it doesn't make any sense. You know, you look at someone like Cody Rhodes. Look, I respect the hell out of Cody Rhodes. I really do. I think Cody Rhodes future Hall of Famer. Obviously, he's a multi-time world champion. And he is QB1 for Friday Night SmackDown. He is the guy carrying the flag for WWE. Hands down. I don't even think Cody Rhodes could save this show at this point, bro. And I think there's also people that are patiently waiting for Cody Rhodes to drop the Universal title. And that very well could happen on Clash in Italy when he faces off against Gunther. To be honest with you. You know, I looked at SmackDown for the past couple weeks, man, and honestly, the best way I can put it, bro, it is honestly mind-numbing as hell. Nothing makes sense. You know, you have, and the thing of it is, bro, like, for example, this is what doesn't make sense to me. You have a Women's U.S. Open Challenge, okay, from Tiffany Stratton. Now, no one knows, obviously, who Tiffany Stratton's going to face. Then we see Nia Jax and Lash Legend come out to the ring, and Lash is like, hey, you know what, I'll accept the Open Challenge when she's in a tag team with Nia Jax. Knowing that they even made it abundantly clear that their main mission right now, being Nia Jax and Lash Legend, is to dethrone Brie Bella and Paige and reclaim the women's tag team titles. So why are we even entertaining the idea of having Lash Legend in a match with Tiffany Stratton for the U.S. title, number one? Number two, it has been rumored and speculated for weeks, man, weeks, that Blake Monroe from NXT was getting called up to the main roster and was supposed to make her debut on SmackDown imminently. Which, in fact, she did make her debut, if you want to call it that, on SmackDown. But instead of her actually answering the Open Challenge to face off against Stratton, which a lot of people assumed that was going to be the case, we just see not Mariah May, well, used to be known as Mariah May, Blake Monroe backstage in a small little segment backstage, and that was it. And I believe that was with Chelsea Green, if I'm not mistaken, or Tiffany Stratton. And that was it. We couldn't have Blake Monroe answer the Open Challenge, whether it was a win or a loss, against Stratton. Rather than we have Lash Legend answering this Open Challenge. And I'm going to be honest, man. Lash Legend ain't it. I'm just sorry. I mean, look, I've seen Lash Legend wrestle for weeks. I feel like on a singles run, Lash, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I feel like, yeah, she's better suited for a tag team. She was incredible, I believe, at the Royal Rumble, this past Rumble. My worry with Lash is that I feel like it's kind of ran its course with Lash Legend unless something drastically changes. I just don't see the hype around Lash Legend. I just don't. I don't. You know, me personally, I thought at the Rumble, Kalani Jordan did a hell of a better job than Lash. I mean, Lash Legend had a lot of eliminations. I'm not saying that she didn't. And she didn't make a star out of herself at the Rumble. But Kalani Jordan, to me, is a way better wrestler than Lash Legend. Call me crazy. It's just my opinion. So I wasn't thrilled with Lash answering the Open Challenge for Stratton. Sami Zayn, you know, look, I respect the hell out of Zayn too. But Zayn, man, Sami Zayn is a guy that reminds me of a journeyman's wrestler, where he's going to go wherever he can go and wrestle. And I respect the hell out of that, by the way. I really do. But sometimes I feel like WWE really doesn't have a sole purpose for the likes of Sami Zayn, who's a veteran, by the way, in WWE. I just feel like they don't know really genuinely what to do with Zayn. Now, Trick is a guy that's got a very high ceiling on SmackDown. Now, I wish he got the hell away from Little Yachty. But Trick has a very high ceiling in WWE. He's immensely over, the theme music, the entrance, him on the microphone, it's great. And he's got future world champion written all over him. So I'm happy that he's U.S. champion. Now, again, the match that he had on SmackDown with Carmelo Hayes, I wish it was for the U.S. title. There's a lot of history there between Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams stemming from their NXT days. I mean, hell, Trick Williams was pretty much walking around having the back of Carmelo Hayes in the NXT days. And Carmelo Hayes was immensely over in NXT. So when they announced this match on SmackDown, I was like, all right, this is a little, trip down memory lane here, number one. Number two, there's a lot of history here between both Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes, but Trick Williams made it abundantly clear that this matchup that he's having with Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown tonight is not going to be for the U.S. title, and that the U.S. Open Challenge is officially dead and gone since he has won the U.S. title. And honestly, the U.S. Open Challenge was probably one of the best things, if not the best thing going on Friday Night SmackDown, to be honest with you. No offense to Trick Williams. So, yeah, I was upset with the Tiffany Stratton Open Challenge. I was hoping that was going to be Blake Monroe. It was not. It was Lash Legend. We heard from Trick Williams. We had Cody Rhodes in action against Sami Zayn, which wasn't terrible. We saw Gunther attack Cody Rhodes in this matchup, but he's still yet to sign this contract. I'm assuming Gunther is going to sign this contract the SmackDown Go Home show going into Clash in Italy to make this match official. And speaking of Clash in Italy, this card for Clash in Italy taking place, I believe, this Sunday around 2 p.m. Eastern is absolutely fucking stacked. A lot of people are saying this might be better than WrestleMania. A lot of people are saying that this is WrestleMania 2.0 just from the card they have right now. I mean, you got Roman and Fatu in a tribal combat match. Jay Cargill and Rhea Ripley rematch for the women's title. You have Gunther and Cody Rhodes more likely happening. You also have Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar 2 rematch also taking place in Clash in Italy as well. Now, this card's stacked from top to bottom. So I'm excited to see this. I don't know if there's any more matches going to be announced for Clash in Italy. I'm definitely excited for this for Clash in Italy, though, and it's the way it's shaping up, it's going to be absolutely incredible. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. There's a lot of hype around this event. I think it's honestly one of their first PLEs, or if not their first PLE in Italy. I could be wrong on that, but I think it is. So I'm definitely excited for that. I think it's going to be one hell of a night, and one hell of a PLE for WWE, for sure. But, but SmackDown, bro, I mean, I know a lot of people are probably like, bro, this is probably the first time we've seen, a SmackDown review. Yeah, and to be honest with you, they're going to be slim pickings, man, on when I'm going to do reviews on SmackDown. It's 3 hours on a Friday night that's just absolutely brutal. I mean, you're talking from 8 to 11, and it's just mind-numbing shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not sitting here saying that Raw is any better. I'm not. But I'll give Raw the benefit of the doubt that it's not 3 hours, and it's a little bit more exciting than SmackDown, to be honest with you, which is not saying a lot, but it's a little bit more entertaining on Raw on Monday nights than it is SmackDown. SmackDown being 3 hours and the roster they have and the storylines they're telling is absolutely fucking brutal. And that's why I haven't really put SmackDown reviews out, because, man, it is absolutely mind-numbing to watch SmackDown for 3 hours on a Friday night. It's just brutal. Now, with that being said, there are things, I've been talking about this or been hinting around about this for quite some time, about bringing back some of the old content. And what I mean by that is doing like a Flashback Friday and giving you guys WrestleMania reviews or older events and give you my thoughts on that, do reviews on those. Or the possibility of, once again, entertaining the idea of reviewing NWA Power or NWA Wrestling. That takes place on Saturday afternoons, Billy Corgan's NWA promotion. So I'm also entertaining that idea as well, just to kind of change some shit up, man, because SmackDown's just not it. It's just not. And I've gone through the trials and tribulations with SmackDown, through the good times and the bad, man. It's awful. Honestly. It's 3 hours of some of the most mind-numbing shit I've ever seen in my life. So, yeah, there is a SmackDown review now, but they're going to be slim pickings in the future, man, until things start picking up for SmackDown. I just can't sit there for 3 hours every single Friday night until 11 o'clock and then sit there and just be absolutely just bored to tears almost to try to give you guys a review on SmackDown. Because honestly, from the people that I talk to, and even some of the people that also do this podcast stuff too, man, a lot of people are saying that SmackDown is becoming a big waste of time. Honestly. There's some higher-ups in the podcast realm, and you guys know who they are, that I've also kind of refused to do a SmackDown review from this past Friday's episode because it's absolutely boring. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep it a buck with you guys and keep it real. I told you guys from the get-go that, I'm going to keep it real. What you see is what you get, and SmackDown, it's not it. It's just not. It's boring. It's not entertaining. It's 3 hours of just absolute bullshit. Honestly. And nothing makes sense, man. Seriously. Nothing. You got Fatal Influence that should be one of the top draws of SmackDown every Friday night because of what they can do and the impact those women can make, and it's like you barely even want to use them. No, let's get Nia Jax and Lash Legend to come out, and let's have Lash Legend answer an open challenge from Tiffany Stratton, knowing that Blake Monroe is supposed to be called up to SmackDown and showing up at SmackDown imminently, which she did show up on SmackDown, but you didn't have her answer the open challenge. You had her in a, 2-minute backstage segment, and that was it? to introduce herself as Blake Monroe? Come on, bro. Come on. Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Really? It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It would have been better off suited for Blake Monroe, whether she won or lost, to have her answer that open challenge with Stratton, because it would have been a bigger crowd pop and a bigger reaction for Blake Monroe than have her walk backstage and have a 2-minute backstage segment, if you want to call it that, and that's it. Come on, man. Rather than having Lash Legend answer this open challenge, come on, bro. What have you done? What have you done? Nothing. And again, knowing that Nia Jax and Lash Legend, their whole mission statement is to go after Brie Bella and Paige for the women's tag team titles. Why don't y'all focus on that shit first? I don't need to see Lash Legend right now as a U.S. women's champion. I just don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. And right now, on paper, I mean, them two staying as a tag team is probably the best for both their careers right now, to be honest. I don't see much for Nia Jax as a singles run, and I don't see a lot for Lash Legend as a singles run either. And if it means anything to anybody, I'm hoping Brie Bella and Paige split up as well. I'm done with the whole Bella experience. I'm done with that. And not only that, they're only putting Paige and Brie together because Nikki was hurt going into WrestleMania. So odds are they're going to reunite the Bellas at some point when Nikki is cleared and ready to come back to compete again, and then Paige is on her own. Paige should be on her own. Paige should be going after Becky Lynch. Paige should be going after, Liv Morgan or Rhea Ripley or what have you. After the women's main titles, or going after Tiffany Stratton for the women's U.S. title. Absolutely. Paige should be a singles competitor. You want to reunite the Bellas, then by all means, God bless. But right now, I'm just done with the Paige and Brie Bella experience as well. It's not even a tag team. They threw this tag team together out of thin air because Paige was on her way back to WWE, and they wrote her in because Nikki Bella was injured going into WrestleMania to team with her sister Brie to go after the women's tag team titles. That's why we had the tag team that we have right now. Simple as that. You could say the same thing about Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. A lot of people are saying they wish they would split up and they would go on a singles run. I can't sit here and necessarily argue against that because Flair is a multi-time women's champion as well as Alexa Bliss. And the fact that right now on SmackDown, man, there's no solid competitors right now to go up against Rhea Ripley for the women's title. I mean, here they are running it back once again between Rhea and Jade at Clash in Italy because there is nobody else. Bianca's on the shelf. She's going to start, have a family, and she's out. So Bianca is out. So where does that leave the women's roster on SmackDown? You got Rhea, you got Jade, you got what, Meechin or B-Fab? Get the hell out of here. Honestly. Lash Legend and Nia Jax, no thanks. Alexa and Charlotte, yeah, they decide to split them up, and they can go after Rhea, or they can go after Tiffany Stratton for the women's U.S. title. Julia's not doing shit right now. Kiana James, I don't know what she's doing either. So, I mean, again, it's like you're not building this women's roster. I mean, hell, bro, look at the tag team division just for the men and the women the men on Raw and SmackDown. The tag team division is abysmal. There's even rumors that WWE right now is contemplating bringing back Big Bill and Enzo Amore back to WWE to reform that tag team once again. They already had Enzo Amore already at the NXT Performance Center right now, which pretty much means that he's going to be signed to WWE. Big Bill in AEW right now, his contract is pretty much done by the end of May going into June. So he might be making his way back to WWE to join Enzo Amore and reform that tag team they once had in their early days in WWE. But I will ask you, okay, that's cool. They're doing it for a nostalgia act and to bring in eyeballs back to WWE. Okay, cool. But to what fucking tag team division are they coming back to? The Garzas are one foot out the fucking door after them getting their ass kicked by Obafemi. Angel and Berto are on their way out. I'm surprised they even made past the budget cuts that they just had, number one, or the releases. You got the War Raiders down in AAA right now, competing for the AAA tag team titles, so they're in Mexico right now. What fucking tag team division is there on Raw, or SmackDown for that matter? You got Miz and Kit Wilson. Priest and R-Truth are the current WWE SmackDown tag team champions. Come on, bro. There's no more Judgment Day with Finn Balor and Jenny McDonough. You got the Usos on Raw. Okay. Who's on SmackDown that's worth a damn, bro? Honestly. You got rid of half the fucking tag team division. The Wyatt Six are gone. Motor City Machine Guns are gone. Hell, MFTs are completely dismantled. Tonga Loa's gone. Half your tag team division is gone. DIY, they're done. Ciampa's on AEW. Johnny Gargano is literally being shown falling asleep on WWE Pro Wrestling crates and having Candice LeRae trying to wake his ass up to get him back to the old Johnny Gargano again. Johnny Gargano ain't doing shit. If I was Johnny Gargano, I'd be giving Ciampa a call and say, hey man, you got any room for me over there in AEW? Or calling Tony Khan. One or the other. At this point, they ain't doing shit with Gargano. And then you release the New Day. Woods and Kofi are gone. They're most likely AEW bound. So again, I will ask you, you want to bring in Enzo Amore and Big Bill, to what fucking tag team division are they coming back to? Nothing. It's a waste of fucking time. You're bringing these guys back for a nostalgia trip and a nostalgia act just to get fans excited to see the return of Big Bill and Enzo Amore back on WWE television. To, again, I will ask you one last time, what fucking tag team division? Nothing. You're going to put these guys on TV just to put them on TV just to hear Enzo Amore. Same thing that you were doing for a while there with Obafemi, with these open challenges, which thank God, hopefully that's come to an end now after Brock Lesnar beating the shit out of Obafemi with those F5s. You know what I mean? It's just like this shit is all over the place, man. And the thing that gets me is that you'll have people defend this shit. It's garbage, bro. I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not sitting here saying that you shouldn't have your own opinion or like what you want to like. By all means, God bless. But you can't honestly say with a straight face that this SmackDown shit is good. It's not. It's boring. It's absolutely boring. When people tune in to Friday Night SmackDown, it's from 8 to 11. And there's nothing about the show that's entertaining. What the hell was Royce Keys doing? Is he going up against Solo Sikoa? Because, not for nothing, you haven't done shit with this dude. And he debuted at the fucking Rumble. There was weeks and weeks that went by, and the only time that you even heard of Royce Keys or saw Royce Keys was in a video package that WWE was showing that he was being interviewed by Stephanie McMahon on her podcast. So you had this guy go into the Rumble, have a match at the Rumble, and then you enter the guy into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And I'll ask you, what has he done since then? Nothing. So again, do you have no plan for this guy? Like, you brought this guy in, and he's still basically not doing jack shit. You're teasing a possible feud here between Royce and Solo Sikoa that you're not willing to pull the trigger on yet. So again, what are we doing? I said the same thing about Nakamura. I was surprised Nakamura made the release list, or didn't make the release list. I thought Nakamura was for sure gone. Compared to some of the other names that were on that list that were actually active, like Kairi Sane. Come on, bro. You're going to keep Nakamura? Nakamura, to me, was in the same boat as an Apollo Crews. They really had no plans for Nakamura either, just like they didn't have plans for Apollo Crews. So I'm surprised Nakamura didn't make the list. So again, they don't have any plans for Nakamura either, man. It's just not the same show. And I understand things do change over time. You got to adapt. I get that. You had some NXT call-ups. Great. But did those NXT call-ups also hurt this show? And what I mean by that is, if you call these people up to SmackDown, whether it be Fatal Influence or Ricky Saints, and you don't know how to utilize them correctly or actually build for them to be main event stars, then what the fuck is the point from the get-go? You're calling them up just to call them up. I mean, hell, there was rumors that NXT really wasn't willing to get rid of Ricky Saints because they wanted a predominant guy on NXT for Tuesday nights. But Shawn let Ricky Saints go to the main roster. But NXT and the powers that be and the CW didn't want Ricky Saints to go. So I'll say this. You bring in a guy like Ricky Saints who has main event caliber talent. Hopefully you can put him in the main event scene. Is it going to take some time? Sure. They might be have a possible feud here between, Ricky Saints and Trick Williams. Sure. Or Carmelo Hayes. Great. But let's build off that and make Ricky Saints into a main event star. Hell, there's people that I talk to that believe that Ricky Saints is going to be mid-card at best, which is crazy. To me, he's a main event star if you utilize him correctly. But we're also talking about the powers that be in WWE, and we're also talking about Friday Night SmackDown, which clearly has been a shit show for the longest time. Hell, people were blaming Brian James, a.k.a. Road Dogg, for the way Smackdown was going. Well, not for nothing, Road Dogg's been going now for quite some time. And this show, I feel like, has progressively gotten worse and worse since Road Dogg has left the company. So again, really, what the hell is going on behind closed doors on Friday Night SmackDown? Because this show is absolutely fucking horrible. So, again, I'll let you guys know, first and foremost, bro, that the SmackDown reviews are going to be slim to none for right now. Because it's 3 hours of a waste of time, man. I'd rather give you guys some other content as far as possibility of covering NWA or doing a Flashback Friday, of maybe doing a WrestleMania review or an old school WWE pay-per-view like In Your House or something like that, and we'll talk about that, or something like that kind of change things up, man. I know I've been talking about that for quite some time, and I think I'm actually going to bring that to fruition at this point, because SmackDown is just absolutely awful, man. And when I put these reviews out, man, I want to be excited. I want to talk about the show. I want to be excited, but I also, it does get to a point, man, where you start to sound like a broken record because there's nothing else that you can find to hold on to that was entertaining about this show. It's like you're going to be negative because the show is so goddamn bad. And you're trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, and sometimes, bro, it just does not work that way. If it's shit, then it's going to be shit. If it's good, then it's good. And I try to do my absolute best to find a positive in the show. It's just with SmackDown, man, it's very hard to find a positive about this mess that we're getting every single Friday night from 8 to 11. It's absolutely just mind-numbing and just absolutely boring to watch every single Friday night. So I think we're going to change some things up on Fridays, maybe do a Flashback Friday. I know if you guys have been with me since day one, you guys know about the old school reviews that I did with like WCW and the WrestleMania reviews and the Rumbles and the King of the Ring. I think we're going to bring some of that stuff back on Fridays and do a Flashback Friday and just do some old school events and give you my reviews on those and what I thought about it. And just, kind of have some fun with it, man, because SmackDown right now is just absolutely boring. So we're going to look into that and see if we can do some Flashback Friday stuff and bring back some old pro wrestling events that we can review and talk about on Fridays. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But with that being said, though, this is my review of Friday Night SmackDown. I hope you guys are out there staying safe, be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.